First things first, I love technology, but some of these modern cars come with features that are unnecessary, dangerous, or even just plain sad. Today I'll be showing you 5 annoying features found in modern cars. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Christian. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe for weekly automotive content. Now, let's begin. The first annoying feature is automatic stop-start systems. For those of you that have no idea what that is, it's a feature that switches the engine off temporarily when the vehicle makes a complete stop and then switches it back on upon takeoff. This is essentially a shortcut for auto manufacturers to attain better fuel-efficient numbers on paper. But the truth is the savings have proved not to be all that great, especially in a situation where a driver is constantly taking off immediately after stopping. You know, when you're stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic. Add the fact that most stop-start systems do not have a smooth nor quick transition when performing this action, creating a delay when trying to take off. And let's be honest, having a delay in a situation where every millisecond counts, like trying to avoid a collision, is not good. Just imagine you're stuck at a traffic light and you see a car through the rearview mirror quickly approaching behind. You hit the gas trying to avoid the collision, but the car is still in the process of switching the engine back on and you end up getting rear-ended. Something that you might have been able to avoid if you didn't have that feature enabled. Also, reliability is a big question since the ignition and the engine experience extra wear by switching off and on constantly. Without such feature, a driver might switch on and off the engine a few times when commuting round trip. Now imagine having the stop-start feature enabled during a long trip with lots of stop-and-go traffic. That ignition experience is 20 times or even 100 times the usage, which will lead to premature failing. Some of you may say, if it's so annoying, then just turn the stop-start feature off. Well, let's just say, it's not always that simple. While some cars like BMW, you can completely turn off the feature forever. Other cars, you would have to turn off the feature every time you use the car. And believe it or not, some GM vehicles don't even give you the option to turn the feature off. By the way guys, I created this video based on a poll I posted on my Instagram page. If you want to be part of my video making process, make sure to drop me a follow. I'm very active on there. The second annoying feature are touchscreen and touch sensitive controls. While some might like the modern factor of big screen that controls everything in one place, the truth is that they can both be annoying and dangerous. Stereo and climate control should not, I repeat, should not be embedded in a touchscreen infotainment display. There is absolutely nothing wrong with a volume knob. It does not need to be reinvented. It's fine the way it is. Or should I say, the way it was. Having functions like heated and ventilated seats deep within the menus of a touchscreen display can be both frustrating and dangerous, especially when driving. Unlike knobs and buttons which you can easily control with minimum attention, touchscreen infotainment displays require you to take your eyes off the road and look at the screen to access functions. It's funny because knobs and buttons kind of remind me of my middle school days when you can text without looking thanks to cell phones having physical buttons. Shout out to all the late 80s and early 90s people. Unlike today where texting requires you to look at the screen. I understand having touch functions for things like navigation where pinch to zoom and double tap can be useful, but companies like Honda have touchscreen volume slider controls. What were they thinking? So what happens if it's cold outside and you have gloves on? Or if the touchscreen becomes unresponsive? Well, you'll be at a major inconvenience. The third annoying feature is engine downsizing. This is probably something that does not bother most people, but for car enthusiasts, it does. Remember the good old days of naturally aspirated engines? A time where people lived by the words bigger is better? The number of liters that a car's pistons displaced with its engine cylinder was the foundation of pride for its owner. Bigger engines normally meant more power, which led to more show-off points. Power is still a demand today, but so is the demand for better fuel efficiency. The solution for most auto manufacturers has been downsizing the engine and adding a turbocharger, which is by far the easiest and quickest way to squeeze more power out of an engine. By using both direct fuel injection and a turbocharger on a smaller engine, you're able to increase performance while also increasing fuel efficiency, which is a win-win for auto manufacturers. It's crazy to think that engines get smaller, performance numbers increase. A perfect example of this are Ford vehicles, in particular the ones used in Europe. Ford offers a 1-liter 3-cylinder EcoBoost engine that produces more power than a 1.6-liter 4-cylinder engine that was used in previous generations. Also look at the Ford Mustang 2.3-liter 4-cylinder EcoBoost that produces over 300 horsepower. Why is this annoying then? What's so bad about better fuel economy and more power? Well, since turbochargers are being used, reliability can be a concern as turbocharged engines get very hot and get pushed to their limits. You also don't get that instant thrust you normally get with naturally aspirated engines, since they don't carry turbochargers that need to spool up. But what's probably more annoying to most car enthusiasts is that the smaller engines don't produce as much engine sound, which leads me to the next annoying thing: amplified or artificial engine noise. How many of you honestly knew this was a thing? This one triggers me. Don't you hate when you go to a concert just to see the artist lip singing? Well, imagine saving up to buy your dream car for it to only lip sing the engine noise. Most people don't know that engine sound you hear from some of America's best-selling cars and trucks are either boosted through special pipes or digitally faked. The sad truth is that without artificial sounds, today's more fuel-efficient engines just sound much quieter, pushing away potential clients. That's right, auto manufacturers think that if a client really knows what the car sounded like, they might not buy. Fake it till you make it, huh? Vehicles such as the Ford F-150 EcoBoost play engine noise through the speakers. A supercar like the Lexus LFA loudly amplifies engine sound towards the driver's seat. The BMW M4 plays a recording of its motor through the stereo speakers, which automatically changes depending on the engine load and power. A BMW 135 owner ripped off the M4 soundtrack to make his car sound like a beast. Listen. When you think it can't possibly get any worse, the BMW i8 has a speaker inside of one of the exhaust pipes to artificially produce an engine sound. One exhaust pipe is real and one is fake with a speaker in it. In fact, most of your favorite cars either funnel engine sound into the cabin or artificially play engine sound via the stereo speakers. Some cars include the Kia Stinger, Volkswagen GTI, Audi S4, Ford Focus RS, Subaru BRZ, and the car that probably started this trend, the Toyota Prius. I think the part that upsets me most is that auto manufacturers don't advertise their artificial engine to its customers. Most people really believe the engine sound they hear is authentic. The fifth and final annoying feature, or should I say features, are the electronics. As we move further into the future, vehicles are swapping things that were once mechanical to electronic. The driver selector has become much more complicated than ever. Gone are the days where you can just hop into an automatic car and know exactly what you're doing. It was as simple as moving the gear selector between parking, neutral, reverse, and drive. Now instead you get buttons and stationary gear selectors and weird knobs to control the drive mode. Then you have the electronic parking brake where you either push down on a button or pull on a small switch. Some say that traditional parking brake levers was replaced to free up room. But let's be serious, room for what? From my experience, the parking brake or e-brake was always placed either under the dash or between the center console and the seat, away from everything. And then comes every car enthusiast's favorite, electric steering. I don't care how much you tune the steering feel, it will never feel as responsive and satisfying as traditional power steering. All these electronics and technology equal to three major things: a higher chance of having reliability issues, repairs are much more expensive, and ultimately the price tags on many of today's cars are much higher because of all the extra features we don't really need. Well, there you have it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure and hit that like button. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe with notifications on. That way you don't miss out on my next upload. Which other modern car feature that I didn't list do you find annoying? Make sure and comment below and let me know what that is. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time.